Coffee for breakfast? It's more like lunchtime. Slept in today, folks. Oh, that's good. Cheers to everybody. Just woke up. Got some good, refreshing, fresh to sleep. It was that refreshing. I got the orders packed up from yesterday. Tip just finished his breakfast. Hi, Tip. Hi, Tip. Y'all ever forget to turn off the alarm to your house? And you open up a door, it's like, yay, 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 yay. It's so like freaking loud. Got the whatnot orders, no eBay orders. It slowed down yesterday, no sales. I'm getting stuff listed. And I'm gonna finish up the rest of the listings for whatnot today and do as much as I can. Before we head out tonight, this evening, we're going to a Mariah Carey concert. Oh my gosh. The favorite CDs or albums, I think it's called Butterfly. That was back in like 99. The only reason why it was my favorite, out in basic training, that was the only CD that was for sale out of however long basic training took. Get information, we're gonna go out to the PX. It was a little military store there and it had a lot of stuff. I mostly wanted socks because my socks were starting to get a little holy, and so were my tarantarans. Basic training is pretty rough, but it was kind of fun now that I think back on it. If you're going to any of the casinos, I think MGM, if you have a veteran's license or ID, veteran ID, military veteran ID, take it to the rewards center, tell them you want a rewards card and that you are a veteran. I think they give you a perk. We ended up getting like $200 for our first meal. We never made the cutoff date, but maybe you can. We missed out on a free $200 thing, but parking's always free for locals. Make sure to take your ID and get your card as well for most casino parking spaces. And then I think the Wynn, I don't even want to talk about the Wynn, but I do want to gamble at the Wynn. Carla's been wanting to go there. You sound like a little oinker. Go ahead, go with your mom. I'm going to my office. All right, I had a total of 8 different customers. What is going on there, you alien strand of hair? 8 several customers yesterday on whatnot. Everything sold at $3 to $5, and they were all at $3 starts. I think the one that sold for the most was for $5. And these are items I almost consider just like giving away, like donating. Altogether, I made $57 in sales, and I'm gonna be dropping them off here in a moment after I think Carla gets ready. I'm not sure if we're gonna go eat. We have a concert later on, so let me get some stuff listing before it starts getting crazy and I start feeling rushed, which I don't like. Also, it was $57 in sales total. I was going through one of my boxes in my room and found this vintage keychain of Garfield. I do have Heathcliff up and whatnot already. I'm gonna add this one on there. 2 amazing characters, both cats. I don't know what he could like to eat, but he was more of my style of me and my friends running around, getting in trouble, just having a lot of fun and nonsense going on. Basically shenanigans. The bottom of this little guy is dated 1978. I'm glad it's lasted this long and hopefully somebody's gonna be interested on it. What's going on here, son? This is your new favorite spot, huh? You always come over here now. You doing all right? You got the itis after you had your breakfast? We did sleep in a little bit, huh? Oh, you want to be close to me? Yeah? Yeah? Your vitamins are doing better for your eyes, huh? And you're drinking more water. Mm-hmm. You're a good boy, yeah. You're a good boy. You know what? You want some apple and peanut butter? Oh, I think that's a yes, please. I want some too. It's my favorite. Tip does love apples, and I give him a little bit of peanut butter on apples. Apple slices and peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter, has been my favorite since I was a little mocoso in my tarantarans running around in Texas before paved roads. Now I know why they called it mud patties. When it used to flood, it would be flooded really bad back in the day before they like came out with trenches in our small town. Charlotte, who I was just talking about with my dentist yesterday, she was so nice, so comfortable, and that's very rare. My dentist appointment yesterday was actually pretty good. The lady that I have seems to be, every time I go, which has only been like 3 times now, has been fun. It's been something I actually don't dread. I know I made like a little sarcastic, like the dentist, yay. But I actually like going to this one. They're really nice from the moment you walk in. I've been needing to go to the dentist. I haven't been to one since 2011 when I got out the military. When I ended up, oh, that was the sound of the laundry, which I'm gonna fold up and then do my own laundry. 2 apples. I love me some apples, but just not any apples. They gotta be crisp. I hate the ones that say that, oh, these are crisp apples. Sometimes Washington apples aren't the best. Sometimes they're like a little soft. I don't like those. I like when you bite into it, it's crisp. You could hear it. They're sweet, but not too sweet. I don't like them when they're super soft and mushy. Back to the dentist. I didn't go to the dentist since 2011 when I got out the military. It wasn't until 3 months ago when I actually got a full cleaning for the first time since 2011. And during that time, my breath was actually starting to stink. And no matter how much I flossed or I brushed my teeth and mouthwash 2-3 times a day, like I could still smell it. And I was like, maybe it's all in my head, until Carla started saying like, babe, your breath stinks. And it's hard to say, right, to somebody that you love. Like, Carla's very straightforward. I would have been more of the softer, gentler approach of, hey babe, you know, your breath, like I know you washed it, but I could still smell your breath. You know, like I'm sensitive towards things. She's not, not so much when it comes to me. Like, I'm just gonna tell you how it is. And she always says that, like, I'm just gonna tell you the facts and you roll with it or you don't. You know, it's how you take it. And I'm like, oh, like I just want to be hugged and be talked to nicely. It's so weird, right? Most men aren't like that, but I like to share myself with everybody of how I actually am. But anyways, after getting my teeth cleaned, there's a 2 process for the dental I went to. I think they cleaned the top side first, and then I went again afterwards for the second one. Some people like their teeth to be all in one. They don't want to come back later. But it was so comfortable. It was actually a joy to go back to that dentist. Dad, shut up and give me my apples. Dogs can have apples, but you don't want to give them the skin. It could get caught up in some things and they can't move their tongues like we do. So I always cut them into wedges and then cut off the skin. Then once I'm done with the skin, I don't just throw it in the trash. I actually throw it out in the backyard for the quails and rabbits. We get quite a bit of them. All right, I do need the peanut butter. Here we go. Now this here, I did say I love crunchy peanut butter. I don't know how I allowed to let creamy peanut butter in this house, but I got a fix for that. I ended up getting some cacahuates at the flea market not too long ago. Only thing is I'm gonna have to put in a little bit of work to make it be crunchy. I'm gonna end up using Carla's salad bowl, which I was trying not to use, but still kind of lazy to go reach for everything else. I have a bag full of peanuts. I often get them roast. A lot of people think I'm from like Hawaii. I'm not, but I feel like that was my home for the longest time. I was there probably everywhere that I've traveled in the world since getting into the military. It was probably the only place, also because it was an island, that I didn't travel and get out of where I was at. When I was growing up, all I wanted to do was get away. I lived in a world in my head that I blamed my parents for things that I didn't have out of jealousy from what my friends were doing and what they had. And it got me into trouble. I started hanging out with the wrong people. And as I got older, and it carried that mentality, ended up being a self-burden on myself, that when I got in the military and was doing things, I always felt like people were judging me, when probably in actuality, I was the only one judging myself. That combined with the people that was around me, people that had rank on them that were super negative, took a toll on me to where it started carrying over in my life. And I was very dark for a moment. There wasn't a moment that I wasn't complaining. And after getting out of the military and wanting more for me and my wife to have a relationship, because I didn't have very much time with her and I didn't feel like she deserved that, I felt like as being a husband, I needed to figure things out and do better. And for me, that was something that came along so easily being in the military. I could have been up in rank. I could have already been fully retired from the military. I'm glad I chose to get out of it and do something for myself and figure things out without pointing fingers of being just constructed or surrounded with rules that weren't rules that I always wanted to follow because I had things that could work better my own way. But when you have people above you and they get power trips, they tend to feel like it doesn't matter what you say, they've earned that status of they are in charge, almost like a god complex. And it's not entirely godly complex, but at the same time, people do use their rank. I've always felt like even when I got rank or I got a title or statue, I could see the difference of people's eyes that would look at me immediately. Like when I made armed security, even when I made armed security just a few days in, I was wearing a thrifted North Face jacket that I ended up getting for $14 at a thrift store. It was probably my first ever, and I still have it to this day, my first ever North Face jacket out of all this time. And I remember walking in through the security, and these were peers that I worked with for many years, like 3 years. And they're like, oh, look at you. Now that you're a security guard, armed security, you think you're better than us wearing North Face. My face just dropped, like my jaw dropped. I kept it up there. They didn't see my expressions. And that's another thing in the military that people taught me is that you don't let people see you sweat, especially when you have soldiers beneath you, under you, subordinates, I should say, not beneath you, subordinates that they look up to people like you and they need to see that you're in control. And if they even question you, which your subordinates will, to be like, Sergeant Sanchez, why'd you let him say that? Why didn't you say something back? And then you tell them your reasonings that, there's better things to fight, as in pick your own battles. And that wasn't one of them. That was just something that somebody may have been joking about. But for me, I took it personal. But I also knew that I wasn't in the same mind frame like I was years ago of being negative, where I would have probably lashed out and probably even got physical. And I've never backed away from fights, but I also never started them. But I have been very good at finishing them. Just saying. So what I'm doing right now is just breaking up some of these peanuts. I'm going to get some of these shells off in a moment, and I'm going to turn that creamy into crunchy. I forget how I crushed up the peanuts the last time, but I'm going to see if this works. All right. Maybe this will work. I'm going to use the flat side instead for tenderizing meat. Oh, one's trying to slide out of there.
Oh, I think this is working.
Oh, that actually worked out pretty good, Tip. I'm making more mess than what I need to be doing, but it's worth it. Oh yeah, it's gonna be crunchy. Oh, hold on. Up, turn. Good boy. Good boy, Tip. Almost done cutting up. Usually I cut 2 of these up, but I got to do some stuff. A little bit of peanut butter from my son. Good boy, Tip. Good boy, you eat it so fast. This little guy will wait here until I'm done eating because Dad assures him like there's nothing left. I did make him some pieces here, cut off the skins on it. And then after we have our snacks, I got to get back to listing. Time's going to be running by fast to still drop off the orders. I do want to get a workout in. I don't know if I'll be able to, so I'll probably be doing push-ups in between like the little things I'm doing here. I don't have to go to the gym to work out, and push-ups do help to get my chest formed up and my shoulders coming along, which they are. Don't want to take off my t-shirts and scare you with my hairy areolas, but I'm starting to get in shape, folks. I've worked my way down since I started my daily vlogs of being at 230 pounds. Now I'm at 220 pounds. So I've been stuck there for a few days, but it's okay because I actually feel like I'm slimming down, and I could tell in my shirts and my shorts because I have to actually tie them up to stay on. And then one for myself with the skin. I like a lot of peanut butter. I could go through a whole jar of peanut butter in one day. I know it's not good, but it tastes so good. Let me know what your favorite snack is. Adding another one for the 19th. It's gonna be this little 2005 Royal Dalton. This is gonna be the Christmas skater. It is dated and signed on the bottom. I love the little figurines like this. Anything small, little things that are easy to flip and make some good money. But oh, Carla got home and just yelled. Tip.
Tip.
What did you do, Tip?
The bathroom door. He broke the freaking tissue.
Tip? He pulled the tissue paper. It must be all over the place upstairs. I was wondering where he disappeared to earlier. All right, got several listings up on eBay. One is gonna be the blue sky. I thought I listed it. It was in my drafts. I guess I hit save for later rather than list now. And then some other things I listed. I got these a while back at the flea market. Keep an eye out for this name. Very thin. Sometimes you might see Prismacolor on the edge. For those who like to draw and get into coloring, these are colored pencils. But when you see Prismacolor and something like this very thin, it actually brings a lot more value. That would probably sell more for around $25 to maybe even $30. But these alone being white colored pencils, they are a set of 12. I believe I have 3 other ones of these, and it should sell for around $15 plus shipping on eBay. All right, I should take this one inside. This one's the Hamburglar McDonald's Vintage Cup. I do need to clean this one out, and I'll get this one listed up there. I did try to sell this vintage Crazy Rider. You might know them more of like Wacky Wobblers, 2 entirely different things, but same concept. This one may need batteries because it is vintage, or it might have a little toggle type of thing that you pull out so that way the batteries make contact and it works. I'm going to have this also on the 19th. I'm really excited about it. I don't know what happened, but just the other day, there was very few bookmarks. And that's okay because you got to be thankful for anything, right? But then as I was listing stuff here a moment ago, there are now 87 people who have bookmarked it. That doesn't mean 87 people are going to be inside the auction. There could be more and there could be way less. But even if there's just 2 people, 1 person, I'm going to be okay with it because I have been trying to push that information out. And hopefully I do such a good job that people follow me on Whatnot for future sales that I do plan on having. Even more so when the Givenchy earrings do sell, I'm going to be using some of that money towards my first storage unit. And I can't tell you how much that excites me. Like my cheeks right now, I could feel them just wanting to explode with such a bigger smile than what my face could bring. If you could feel the excitement that I'm feeling right now and the things that I do daily of sharing everything with you about me, hit the like button and do make sure to subscribe, folks. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate you all. All right. I am also starting to get organized for the 19th. It's just like, 2 days away. So all of these things that I'm going to have are going to be down here on the table that I've been using. And I'm going to lay everything out, trying to make it as simple as possible and not be all over the place, forgetting things like upstairs, rulers and pens and notepads. A pen and a notepad, because sometimes you need to write stuff down. You may think like, I don't need anything else. It's better to be safe than sorry. On top of that, it is 2:31 and Carla's already saying she's going to get ready. She just got back from the gym. I've been working on some things for the big day on the 19th and listing stuff on eBay. I'm going to drop off the orders when we head out to the concert. So for today, this is all, folks. I got quite a bit done for sleeping in, and I'm starting to really hone in on having a structured schedule for myself, which I lacked on big times. I could be very motivated, and what's been helping me is sharing my content, of seeing the progress of what I'm doing, especially when I edit it. It reminds me of other things that I can and will do and or should have done. So it's really good to self-reflect because I'm catching a lot of things and helping me in a lot of ways rather than having it all in my head and forgetting things. So I'm only human, and so are you, which is why you shouldn't beat yourself up about everything and for not too long. Learn, adapt, apply, repeat what's good, and what isn't working out, go ahead and start making little tweaks. So this is it for today. Not sure how long this video is, but I had a good time and I hope you had a good time. You see me again tomorrow, and I will be showing you some highlights of the concert. That's if they let us record, or I may just share photos with you in the community tab. So stay tuned. Not sure what I'm going to be able to do or how busy it's going to get later on.